Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back and welcome to the birthday edition of The Session with Londa and David. How are you today, birthday boy?
Feeling good. I don't know if when you turn 54, you're supposed to feel like you're 30, but I feel like I'm 30.
Good for you.
Yeah.
On the flippity. I left Denny's after having breakfast from the senior menu, got into my car, turned on my car, the radio was on to 98.3, and I thought, man, they just play one banger after another. And that's when I realized we are fully rolling into senior living.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm almost there.
Midlife.
But you can order from the 55 plus menu now. That's
and
pretty
you know
exciting.
What? I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Those prices are good.
And I'm feeling pretty loose because it is the birthday episode, and I did have a little Jameson with my morning coffee at the Denny's bar. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
We haven't done the restaurant review that nobody asked for in a while. If you have not had breakfast at the Denny's bar in Richland,
Richland, Washington,
you haven't done it right.
Yeah.
I mean, that is good trash food.
It's not really trash, though. It depends on what you order.
It's America's Diner. You're right.
Yeah. But I think I think they remodeled it or something. Another couple that was in there was saying the same thing.
That's exactly right. The
so
seats, the upholstery,
it's fresh,
beautifully
and
new
and clean and pretty. And there wasn't really anybody in there when we sat down. And you know how you go into a restaurant, you sit in a booth. I'm always worried about booths now because you collapse.
Right. That's
right?
exactly right.
These, perky.
New stuffing. I mean, it's nice. Then another couple came in after us, but then my favorite people that came in, these two guys came in, and the minute they walked in, I almost said to them, that's a contractor look if I ever saw one, or a trades person, sure.
you know?
Yes.
Because they definitely looked like they work in the trades. Just two old grizzly guys.
I'm going to guess, I don't know what they do, but I'm going to guess retired pipe fitters.
Not retired.
Really?
Yeah, no, they were talking about scheduling. I could overhear their conversation. It was like my dad came back from the grave for 20 minutes, and I got to listen to him and his friend talking about, they were talking about scheduling and all kinds of stuff with work. No, I think they're actively working.
Okay.
They are retirement age, but actively working tradesmen of some kind.
Yeah.
I don't know, electricians, plumbers,
pipe fitters. Yeah.
I don't know, something.
They had strong looking hands, and those guys are holding metal and welding.
Yeah. Anyway, it was really fun to overhear that conversation. But I'm fully embracing the 55 plus life.
And they were having old white guy conversations, talking politics. You know what I mean?
When the one said, "We got Ronald Reagan to thank for that," I thought, is my dad here?
It's funny that I say that because our kids think of us as old white guy conversation havers. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if the shoe fits, Cinderella.
I guess.
So anyway, 54.
54 years old, yeah. Next year I'll be able to order from the special menu at Denny's.
But 54 years on this planet, that's a lot of, you've lived a lot of exciting, adventurous lifetime. What's something that you want people to know?
Well, that's a great question, and I don't know what I want people to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just saw somebody today that posted their real estate anniversary, and they were like, the most important thing I've learned in all these years in real estate has very little to do with real estate, and kind of went on and on. And I commented on, I said, agreed. The best thing I ever built in real estate is the life I've built outside of real estate.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I think the most important thing to me is relationships. And I love social media, and I love how people on your birthday get the reminder in their Facebook feed to say happy birthday to you. I love that because it feels new. It feels like they just were thinking of me.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I love that. I know the truth. They woke up and had 6 people are having birthdays today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But who cares? They still took the time.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's and what a treat that is.
You've already fielded a couple of birthday calls.
Yeah, really, really fun day so far. Got a lot of work to do today, though, because, we can't take off the day because it's my birthday.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Am I missing out on something? Am I missing out on something extraordinary? And this is not to judge, but am I missing out? Because I see adult people take the day off work for their birthday, or, I didn't go to work today because it's my birthday. But I don't get it. And is it just because I'm of the generation that we worked no matter what, and we still do, or what do you know?
Okay, so if I were in a job that I didn't care for, let's say I'm sitting at a bank in Fargo, North Dakota, at a Wells Fargo branch, and I hate my branch manager, and I'm a lender at that branch, I may take off my birthday.
I see.
Do you see what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when you've engineered your life to be able to do the things with the people you love all the time, there's no need to take off time because you're doing the things you love with the people you love. So like this morning, for instance, I did kind of blow off one meeting with a coworker, but that's because it's my birthday. But I didn't not work today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you've already worked. I've watched it and listened.
Yeah, so I do need to have a makeup meeting with my coworker, David, and I apologize to him for blowing off our meeting. But you know what? I had a pretty lady who showed up at my disc golf course who wanted to take me to breakfast. So
it was me.
That's
surprise.
Exactly right. So I was like, you know what? I won't be able to make the 10 o'clock meeting after all. Whoopsie doodle.
And I, it's because I happened to be in Benton City because I had to let a contractor into a listing that we have. And then I didn't have to stay. So I thought, well, I'll just show up there. I think you've really keyed on something that is important, which is build your life, structure your life in such a way that you don't need a vacation from it. Is that kind of what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Not that taking vacation, we take vacations and stuff, but I had a business coach one time that did you went to their, they're always trying to upsell. You go to their thing and then they try to upsell you to their other thing, the more intensive thing. And the more intensive thing was about designing your life.
Right.
Right. And so, I think that's kind of what you're talking about. And that may be, I would say maybe the takeaway of your 54 years.
Maybe.
I think you accidentally gave us the secret sauce to your happiness.
Well, yeah. And, I've been to these seminars where you're working on your life plan and your goals
Tony
and your
Robbins
non-negotiables
kind of
and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And many of those start out with, where do you see yourself in 5 years, right? And they talk about coming up with a plan to get you where you want to go in 5 years. I'm more like, where do I see myself this afternoon? Where do I see myself tomorrow? Let's do that. Because if you're planning 5 years down the road, you've already missed something important.
I've never been one of those people who's like goal set for 5 years from now.
Right.
Until this year. And all of a sudden, and I think it's because I feel it's a little bit of mortality motivation. I feel like I'm running out of time. I'm on the other side of the clock. Okay. Right? And it's
you are ordering from the 55 plus menu.
Well, that's just real, right? So I'm like, okay, in 5 years I'll be 60. So what is it that I know somewhere deep inside me I have to accomplish before 60?
Sure.
So it's that kind of thing that I'm looking at. Like, it's not necessarily a 5-year goal, but it kind of is, but it's from a different perspective,
right?
Of like, I'm looking more and more about what do I want to do before I leave this earthly realm,
right? Before you slip off this mortal coil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what do you want to do before you slip off this mortal coil? Because I don't know.
Well, I really want to write, I'm going to say this out loud, and then you can all hold me to it. I really want to write a series of children's books.
Okay.
Loosely based on my
myself and my mother and my grandmother's kind of history.
Okay.
For my grandchildren, to leave to my grandchildren.
All right.
So it's a little bit of legacy mixed with some fantastical whimsy, lots of imagination, some life lessons dropped in there. Yeah. So I would love to do that.
Okay.
In the next 5 years. That's a goal of mine.
Well, that's interesting. I've never heard you say that before. I've heard you say you want to write family histories or an autobiography kind of thing, but I've never heard you say you want to do it in the form of a children's book.
I think I've kind of finally figured, I've been thinking about it a lot.
Where'd that come from?
Well, I've always wanted to write children's books since my kids were little.
Yeah.
And I used to write for my children, right?
Uh-huh.
I would write like little pamphlets or whatever, you know what I mean? Like little stories
and illustrate
with illustrations.
them by hand.
And they were just like fun little things that I did for their homeschool curriculum, right?
Okay.
I would want to teach a certain concept and then I would build like this fun story around it. And so I have that in my history. And then I also, in my desk drawer, I have a couple of sketched out, written out, kind of loose outlines for children's books.
That's fascinating.
And I just think that I was given by God or whomever, whatever you want to call it, an unbelievably fantastic imagination.
Do you believe that those ideas...
And I think I want to use that. I would love to be able to take what's in here and put it out there in some way, because what's in here is just so much whimsy and fun. And yeah.
Let me ask you, do you believe that that's inside of you, or you're just speaking something that's been put inside of you by like the muse or by some outside force? Because I've heard writers talk about how when they sit down, they don't have an idea about what they're going to write about, but it just flows through them. Or do you have this stuff in there all the time, putting on shows?
Yeah. It's
That's
like a movie. It plays like a movie in my head. And I have dreamed of writing since I was 10 years old.
Well, and you are a published author. Let's not gloss over that.
I am, but self-published, calm down. Yeah, I have known my whole life that part of my destiny, if you want to call it that, is to write.
Okay.
And I think that, there's some, I'm getting a little emotional. There's some like really, what do I want to say? There's some visions is the only word I can think to use. Visions in my brain of my life. And a couple of them are very, very, very deeply imprinted on my brain since I was a very small child.
Okay.
That is one of them.
All right.
And I do believe that between like the ages of 10 and 15, 10 and even maybe 14, I do believe that a lot of vision comes during those years. So if you have a kid or a grandkid between those years, really give them space to think. Because there's something, having coached hundreds and hundreds of people around the world for 25 years now, I can promise you there is something that gets dropped into the heart of a kid at about that age, or something that wakes up inside them about that age that is something to do with their future. I really believe that wholeheartedly. Every person I've ever talked to, ever known, there's something. It's not maybe their career path or their purpose in life. I don't know that it's that, because I don't feel like writing is maybe my career path or my purpose in life. But I do feel like it's something that I have to do before I die. You know what I mean? It's like a driving kind of thing that I've got to get it done. And I think I'm going to narrowing it down to kind of reaching hold of the past and pulling it forward to the future. taking stories from my grandmother and my mom and myself and put him into these whimsical little stories and passing it on to my grandchildren feels like a very important and very satisfying thing to do.
Could the medium that you're thinking about doing have been why the prison authors pamphlet books was so important to you?
Probably.
Because they made you very emotional.
Oh, I cried and cried and cried and cried.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't listen to every single episode and every single word we say, we went to the Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola prison rodeo a month ago. And at that, you can buy art from inmates who've had 10 years of good time, lifers who've had 10 years of good time. And one of the things that you purchased was a series of little books that are in pamphlet form that had illustrations and handwritten text.
The books were handwritten.
Right.
It blew me away. And for whatever, like, here's this guy who's in prison for life because he murdered somebody.
Yep. His wife.
Because you can look it up.
Yep, he murdered
and
his
our
wife.
daughter did because she's a weirdo.
She's not a weirdo. She's just fascinated by criminal justice.
Yeah.
It's one of the things. I minored in that, and I think she might have too.
I didn't want to know. But looking at that, I was able to really set that aside and just see these as creative people looking for purpose in their life and looking for something to do. And I just thought, man, the commitment that it took for him to write a 50-page book, children's book by hand. And I could literally voice to text, but I can't find the time to do that. Now, granted, he's got a lot of time on his hands.
That's what I'm saying. You know what? We should all have 8 hours a day to be creative. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You have to kill somebody to have that kind of free time, but still.
Isn't it funny we call it free time?
Well, it is free time. That's
Not
what
for
it
him.
is. Well, it is free for him. He has nowhere to be and nothing else to do except sit in his cell and write down his stories.
Interesting, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people work their whole lives and retire so they have that kind of free time.
Well, I think it's all tied together, right? I'm reading this book called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And the idea is, I don't want to just work 4 hours a week, but the idea of it is basically all these different ways to collapse time so that you can do more with your life. And not to be busier, but to do and have and be more.
Because work-life balance is a lie. There's no such thing. But if you can compartmentalize your work and your life and have them separate, then you might have some more time to enjoy your life.
You'll find this interesting. And for anybody who's read that book, I'd encourage you to reread it now in the age of AI, because I'm reading it and there's this whole chapter on all these different resources you can use to help you save time.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these resources, he's like, go to this website, sign up for this thing, but can be done through AI now. And talk about being able to collapse time.
Right. Well, and
Amazing.
AI is very, very interesting. And that could be a whole show.
And I don't know how we got off onto what my vision for my life is when it's your birthday. And I started by asking you, what's the thing you want to leave with the people that you touch and love and encounter?
Just a good experience. I want everybody to feel good when they walk away from me. I don't want anybody to feel worse because they came across me. Does that make sense?
That's a really simple way to put a really deep and complex concept.
Yeah. You say it's deep and complex. I say if my job in life is to help the other people around me feel better about their day, that's a pretty nice job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I try to do. You know, I hear all the time, David, you're so uplifting, you're so positive.
Yeah, love your energy.
You're so happy. It's not hard for me to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of your natural state.
That's exactly right.
It is the way that you move through the world.
I don't like being sad. So why would I do that on purpose? Does that make sense? I don't like the feeling of sadness.
Maybe you don't do it on purpose. Maybe it just happens to you.
Or you could be purposeful about not being sad.
I have a little challenge going with one of my sons-in-law right now, and it is to find to stop and notice happy moments.
Yes.
And voice them.
That's interesting.
Because I've been very open about, my mental health, my traumatic history, all this stuff, right? And so when I was just visiting with my daughter and son-in-law last week.
Yep.
Last week or this week?
You were there Thursday. You left Friday morning at 4:30 a.m.
Yeah. One of the things he asked me was, were you happy when you lived in, was it Florida? I don't know.
Florida and Louisiana.
And I said, happy is sometimes a difficult concept for me. And my daughter said to him, she's never truly happy. And I was like, that's, that kind of, you've mentioned before, you kind of, this little cloud kind of, there's like what have you said? There's a little bit of sadness kind of behind you all the time. You've mentioned that before, and we've talked about it here too. But so he could relate to that, right? I said, happiness is like this concept that I feel like, I don't know, it kind of eludes me at a lot of the time. And I'm not unhappy, but to classify as like, oh, happy, those moments I can't really always grasp. And so he and I were talking about like stopping and noticing when I feel happy.
Okay.
And then voicing it. So yeah, I texted him yesterday. I said, hey, by the way, I felt happy most of the day today, and I noticed it all day long. And then, yeah, so I think what you focus on expands, right?
I think you're right, yeah.
And so I'm kind of confirming what you just said.
And for me, just on the flip side of that equation, I can count when I'm unhappy way easier than when I am happy. Because my normal state is pretty happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if something goes awry or amiss, then for a split second, but only a split second, because I don't have the capacity to hold on to sadness, I can be unhappy. And then that's gone. And the second I see a bird fly by, like yesterday, we were driving in the car, it was very windy, and we saw birds in weird formations going up and down in the wind. And that made me super happy. And I don't know what we were talking about before I noticed that at all.
I don't either, but I do think that nature has a lot to do with, most of my happiest memories are in nature. So I grab onto those moments, even when I noticed yesterday that I felt happy, I was walking down the stairs at our house and there's a giant window at the bottom of the stairs. And I think that had something to do with it. I as I'm walking down the stairs, I see our little fountain and the grass and the, landscaping that's around the fountain and the blue sky in the background. And, nature always kind of triggers happy.
That's good.
Yeah.
I have one of my happiest memories from my childhood is a memory I have of walking home from school at Waddell Elementary in Columbus, Georgia. And my mother was waiting for Nathan and I at a place we called The Jumps. And it was another phase of an apartment complex nearby that was abandoned. They started building it, must have run out of money and left big piles of clay, the Georgia clay. The dirt is clay-like. That kids over the year or so that had been sitting like that had made bicycle ramps out of. So we called it The Jumps. So we were walking home from school, and my mother was sitting there on a low branch of an oak tree with a picnic basket, which is now in my closet in my bedroom, that picnic basket, full of strawberry tarts. And she had the cat Luke Skywalker with her, and we sat on those low branches of that tree and ate those. One of my happiest memories.
Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. Isn't it wonderful?
And today you did that for me, showing up at my disc golf course. I had the same feeling. So thank you.
Sweet. You're welcome. As a society, we often look for the big, grandiose moments. It's why we take vacations.
Right.
We save for 10 years so we can take the kids to Disney World.
We're stunt
We're going
casting.
to create these big moments. And when we're gone, when we've left this earth to go on to whatever's on the other side,
right,
like our mothers have gone on, those are the moments that we leave behind. Remember, it is those small little moments that you take the time to just be with someone.
And you did that for me today. A foundational memory you created today. And I
That's
didn't
so
expect
sweet.
it. I came around hole number 9 at the Benton City Disc Golf Course, and there you were. Unexpected and surprising.
Surprise.
That's right. So beautiful. So fun.
I was singing, but then I heard you talking on the phone, so I stopped singing. You know what I was singing? Go, Shawty. It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Drink Bacardi like it's your birthday.
Well,
then I noticed you're on the phone. And I was like, oh, then now I just look stupid. Nobody was there. Who cares?
That was such a fun
Thank you.
treat for
Good.
me.
I'm glad.
And that is what birthday surprises are all about. You created a foundational memory that will be there for the rest of my life. How crazy is that?
That's
and
so
you didn't
sweet.
even try. You didn't even have to try.
No,
you just
didn't.
showed up. You were just present in a place that I didn't expect. Just like the day my mother was at the jumps. I didn't expect her to be there. She was never there before. Do you know what I mean?
Be here
It was
now.
exactly that.
Yep, being
That's right.
present.
Be here now.
Be present. I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So instead of where do you see yourself in 5 years, where do you see yourself later this afternoon?
Oh, I have to work.
We got a busy day. We do.
Yeah,
have a busy
I've got, I'm so excited. This is the month, man. We've got 5 listings coming on this month. 1 went on this morning. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for just $340,000, which in our market is extremely affordable and does not come on very often, doesn't come available. And it is in excellent condition on almost a 1/4 acre. I'm so happy to bring this house to the market because it's so needed.
You can find it if you go to sherwoodaustin.com, and click on real estate, I believe.
Yeah, that'll take it to the real estate page. And then this afternoon I'm doing a walkthrough, progress walkthrough for a house that is listing by Saturday this week.
Right.
So in 3 or 4 days. And it is another one that's going to be under $350,000 that is at least 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's on even bigger lot than a 1/4 acre. It's almost, I think it's almost a third of an acre. And that's also very exciting to bring. And then and you're going to do pictures this afternoon at a property that I can't even talk about yet because I'm so excited. I can't because I'll give away too much and we're not allowed to do that.
That's right.
Oh my God. Anyway, and then we also have this week
the staging going in tomorrow on another property.
Yep, on another very unique property.
Pictures the next day.
If you know anybody who is a contractor, particularly they own their own business, like a landscaper or what other kind of contractor would really
any kind
benefit?
of contractor,
a machinist,
a welder.
Yeah. And they need to be under $1 million, but they need to house their big family or not, and
10
their
work trucks.
Business, and 5 or 10 work trucks, and also have shop to work on the trucks and an office and a smaller workshop.
Right in the middle of town. It's going to be good.
And then, I don't know, we may or may not have a Creekstone listing, single level Creekstone coming the end of the month. It's none of my business.
Super tippy end.
I'm out. I can't say anymore. I've already said too much. So it's a busy afternoon.
Okay, so we've got a busy afternoon. We're not going to be done with our day until about 6 o'clock tonight, and we need to get this out on the air. So we are busy.
Yes.
We have 54 seconds left in the show. What do you want to end it with?
Obviously, we end it with your birthday song.
Go ahead.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long.
That will never get old to me.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. And I'm sorry I got so emotional there when I was describing coming around the ninth hole, and there you were. What a fun treat that was. For Londa, Joanne, Sherwood Austin, the prettiest girl in the world, I am the luckiest man in the world. My name's David Austin, and this has been another edition of The Session with Londa and David. We'll see you right back here again next week.